Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar where we will be discussing normal heart anatomy and physiology. So understanding normal cardiac anatomy and physiology is an important component of performing PALS. The heart is a hollow muscle comprised of 4 chambers surrounded by thick walls of tissues or the septum. The atria are the 2 upper chambers and the ventricles are the 2 lower chambers. The left and right halves of the heart work together to pump blood throughout the body. The right atrium and the right ventricle pump deoxygenated blood to the lungs where it becomes oxygenated. This oxygen-rich blood returns to the left atrium and then enters the left ventricle. The left ventricle is the main pump that delivers the newly oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. Blood leaves the heart through a large vessel known as the aorta. Valves between each pair of connected chambers prevent the backflow of blood. The 2 atria contract simultaneously, as do the ventricles, making the contractions of the heart go from top to bottom. Each beat begins in the RA, or right atrium. The left ventricle is the largest and thickest walled of the 4 chambers, as it is responsible for pumping the newly oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. The sinoatrial, or SA node, in the RA creates the electrical activity that acts as the heart's natural pacemaker. This electrical impulse that travels to the atrioventricular or AV node, which lies between the atria and the ventricles. After pausing there briefly, the electrical impulse moves on to his purging system, which acts like wiring to conduct the electrical signal to the LV and RV. This electrical signal causes the heart muscle to contract and pump blood. By understanding the normal electrical function of the heart, it will be easy to understand abnormal functions. When blood enters the atria of the heart, an electrical impulse that is sent out from the SA node conducts through the atria, resulting in atrial contraction. This atrial contraction registers on an electrocardiogram or ECG strip as the P wave. This impulse then travels to the AV node, which in turn conducts an electrical impulse through the bundle branches and Purkinje fibers of the ventricles, causing ventricular contraction. The time between the heart of atrial contraction and the start of ventricular contraction registers on an ECG strip as well as the PR interval. The ventricular contraction registers on the ECG strip as the QRS complex. Following ventricular contraction, the ventriculars rest and repolarize, which is registered on the ECG strip as the T wave. The atria also repolarize, but this coincides with the QRS complex, and therefore cannot be observed on the ECG strip. Together, P wave, QRS complex, and T wave at proper intervals are indicative of normal sinus rhythm. Abnormalities that are in the conduction system can cause delays in the transmission of the electrical impulse and are detected on the ECG. These deviations from normal conduction can result in dysrhythmias such as heart blocks, pauses, tachycardias, and bradycardias, blocks, and drop beats. These rhythm disturbances will be covered in detail further in this webinar series. Don't forget we offer online PALS certification on our site. You can find a link in the description. We encourage you to become certified as soon as possible, whether that be on your own time with an online course or in an in-classroom setting. So thank you so much for tuning into today's webinar. We will catch you guys next time.